Okay, good morning, everybody. Now, now today we are going to do the chapter Albert Einstein, right? And first and
Yes,
foremost,
ma'am.
we will do the summary and then we'll begin with the explanation. Got it, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can put the date on the chapter better. So now this lesson, Albert Einstein at school. It is an extract from the biography. Okay, biography, the life story of a person. And what is the difference between autobiography and biography? What is
Ma'am,
the
autograph.
difference? Yes.
Ma'am, autograph
Biography written by
himself.
ऑटोबायोग्राफी में हम खुद लिखते हैं अपनी खुद
हम थोड़ी बहुत
और
अंग्रेजी बोल
बायोग्राफी कोई
सकते हैं
दूसरा
बेटा. Answer it in English. Yes, autobiography is a person who writes his own story. If you are going to write your own life story, that will be autobiography, right? And biography, the story written by somebody, the life story written by someone. So this has been taken, this is an extract taken from the biography of Albert Einstein. And the young Einstein, it was the name of his biography. It was written by Patrick Pringle. Okay. And in this chapter, we come to know about the years when Einstein life, uh, it was somewhat very crucial as he had been struggling each day in the school, and though he was not interested to attend the school, but anyhow he had to attend it, okay, to get the school diploma. So should I begin with the summary now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when the lesson begins, we find little Albert Einstein. He was in the class of the history teacher, okay? And the teacher, he asked him some question, but about a particular date or so from the past. And as it always happened, Albert Einstein, he was very unattentive in the class and he did not know the answer, right? So, and he says that he was not interested in knowing the dates or how many soldiers killed uh, the enemy soldiers and so on. So, finally, the teacher says that ask him to give his own theory of education, and he says that whatever should be included in the education, he just tells in front of the class, and he says that what they are taught in the class is irrelevant. Okay, Ayush Maheshwari, Ayushi. Everybody does not know that this is chapter 4. Unnecessary, you people need to poke your nose in between. I don't know what you try to prove by sending messages. Everybody knows that it is chapter 4. So Albert, he gives his theory of education and he says that whatever is taught here in the class, that is irrelevant. The teacher, she becomes or he becomes annoyed, and uh, the class is ended up and the teacher punishes Albert Einstein, okay? And the punishment was not new to him. Every now and then he was punished. So he had become somewhat habitual, accustomed, of such punishments. And then we further come to know about Albert Einstein. He disliked his neighborhood because of the slum violence. Okay, he was living in the slum area as his father. He couldn't afford so much of money, so much of rent or amount. So he was living in a slum area. He did not like the slum violence, and he talks to his friend and compares his place where he was staying to his friend's place or to his friend's neighborhood. Okay. And then later on, we find that his cousin, Elisa, she's from Berlin and she visits Albert and tries to explain him the importance of studies and all. And he says that he does not need to do anything. He only needs to cram up, okay, to learn everything by heart. And that could be a little effort, okay. If he puts a little effort, surely he would pass the examination. Now, Albert, he says that he is not interested to attend the school anymore, and he tries to make a plan. He starts planning in case if he suffers, okay, if he suffers from some disease, then that would be a good excuse for him to remain away from the school. So he suddenly gets an idea into his mind and he asks his friend Yuri to arrange for a doctor, as Yuri was in medical line only. Okay. So anyhow, Yuri, he arranges for a doctor, and he wanted that the doctor should give him certificate or should certify that he suffers from a nervous breakdown. Okay. And the main root cause of this nervous breakdown is the school which Albert is attending. समझ में आ रहा है? वो चाहते हैं कि डॉक्टर उसको नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन का सर्टिफिकेट दे दें और जिसका कारण वो लिख दें कि इसका मेन रूट कॉज क्या है, स्कूल की वजह से उसको नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन हो रहा है. ठीक है. सो ही शुड बी मेड टू स्टे अवे फ्रॉम द स्कूल एटलीस्ट कम से कम 6 months के लिए. तो इससे क्या होगा? नाउ 2 birds will be killed with a single stone. He won't be terminated from the school. Okay. He would be a student as well, but he wouldn't be attending the school anymore, as it would be certified by the doctor that he's suffering from nervous breakdown. So Yuri says, okay, fine, I'm going to arrange for the doctor. And Yuri agrees. An appointment has been arranged with the doctor, and the doctor, he gives him a certificate of nervous breakdown, and Albert is quite happy. He asks him about the fee or something, but doctor, he refuses और कहता है कि बस तुम तो यूरी को है ना डिनर के लिए ले जाना. ठीक है. So Albert says, okay, fine, and he takes Yuri for a dinner. And according to his plan, he now he's thinking that he is having the certificate, right? And he thinks that now he'll go to the head of the schools, means he's going to go into headmaster's room, and he'll just throw the certificate in front of him and say that he couldn't attend the school anymore now as he suffers from the nervous breakdown, and then he would be away from the school at least for 6 months.
Ma'am,
So, yes, Divyansh.
ma'am, what is nervous breakdown?
When you're very much mentally upset, Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
तो एक सिचुएशन आती है कि एकदम नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन की स्थिति आ जाती है, आप किसी चीज को लेके बहुत परेशान रहते हो, है ना, बहुत ज्यादा, तो नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन की कंडीशन हो जाती है उस समय. And then he also goes to his maths teacher. Why? Because now he wanted to pursue his studies in an institute, okay, where he would study higher mathematics. तो उसके लिए उसको reference चाहिए होता है, glowing reference. So he goes to his maths teacher, Mr. Cooch, जो उसको एक बहुत glowing reference देते हैं, okay, जिसमें वो लिख देते हैं कि he is very very much well versed in maths and everything, and he can teach even his teachers and so on. तो वो कहता है नहीं सर ये तो कुछ ज्यादा ही, सर कहते हैं no, this is the fact, of course. Okay, you have learned all the school maths and even a lot more you have learned. And then he's ready to go to the uh, headmaster's or head teacher's room, but before he decides to enter, he's called by the head teacher. And there the head teacher, before he announces, right? Who? Albert, ki I'm leaving the school because I'm suffering from this and that. Head teacher says that we have decided to terminate you from the school. Why? Because you had been a big problem for the teachers as well as for the students. You don't allow the teachers to teach in the class and you don't allow the students to study seriously in the class. So we have decided to remove you from the school. He felt as if the certificate, it was burning in his pocket, and he he thought of saying something to the to the head teacher about the school. सोचता भी है, he was tempted also, but he controls himself. इच्छा तो होती है उसकी कि बोले स्कूल के लिए भी बहुत कुछ, लेकिन अपने आप को कंट्रोल कर लेता है. He leaves the school. Okay, walked straight out of the school. He did not turn back and did not give a last look, a last glance to the school. He was so much, okay, impulsive and all. So, and finally he comes to his friend. He says goodbye to him. Elsa, his cousin, she had already gone to Berlin by that time, and now Albert, he was quite happy as he was out of the school. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yes,
what
ma'am.
about the question answers, beta? What about the question answers that I had given you? Yes? What about the question answers? I'm asking something.
Ma'am, completed.
Ma'am,
Jaldi
half
is
of the question
completed.
answers are completed.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
And others, they are dumb. They are very much silent.
Ma'am, half of the questions are remaining.
Okay. And what about
Ma'am, we
others? I
also.
know many of you might
Ma'am,
have
same
not
here.
made the registers also.
Ma'am,
The
half
schools are
questions
about to
are done.
open. Mind it. And the registers must be complete.
Ma'am, half questions are completed.
What about the others? So many of you, you're very much this thing, dumb, very silent. And now, few of you who have not made the registers, they will leave the class. They will quit the class. हम यही करेंगे ना, मैम जैसे ही पूछती हैं हम क्विट कर देंगे क्लास. You're not small kids, better, but better complete all the question answers. What I said. जो भी question answers दिए, complete them. Got it or not?